Good morning, cadets. Today we are learning the remaining two types of modes of transfer of heat, convection and radiation. So first we will learn what is convection. Okay, convection is a transfer of heat, a mode of transfer of heat wherein the bulk movement of the matter takes place. Convection is a transfer of heat by actual motion of the matter, which is possible only in fluids. And let us see what is the meaning of convection. When we take water, for example, in a vessel and we heat it, when we heat the water taken in a vessel, the bottom part of the vessel conducts the heat, and then the layer of water which is in contact with the flame starts getting heat. When the layer of water starts getting the heat, then the molecules of that layer become hot and they become light. The molecules become hot and possess more energy and they become less dense. Actually, the expansion of the bottom layer, which is in contact with the flame, gets heated up and it expands. As a result of expansion, that layer becomes light, that layer becomes less dense. Due to buoyancy, what happens? The molecules which are less dense, being light, they start moving up. We will start observing the bubbles moving up. So hot layer of water being less dense, lighter, due to buoyancy, they start moving up. Whereas the layer on the top is still cold and heavier. Being heavier due to more weight, they start moving down. The upper layer, which is still colder, start moving down because of more weight and being more density. As a result, you will find the upper layer coming down and getting heated up again. This process continues. This heating goes on. Again the lower layer, when it comes in contact with the heat, again it expands, becomes less dense, lighter, and due to buoyancy again it rises. And the upper part being still colder, heavier, more weight, it moves down. Thus, in the case of convection, the gravity plays a very important role. Gravity and the buoyancy plays a very important role. Now, convection can be two-way, natural convection and forced convection. First, we will learn natural convection. The natural convection takes place by heating process, as I have just now explained. Here, gravity and buoyancy play important role. The hot layer being less dense, rises up. Due to buoyancy. Hot layer, which is in contact at the bottom, on expansion becomes less dense and due to buoyancy rises up. The upper layer still being colder. The upper colder layer being heavy and more dense settles down and then gets heated up. In this way, the process continues. So, in this way, the transfer of heat takes place by actual motion of the matter, by actual bulk transfer of the entire matter, the convection takes place. So, this is natural convection. Then one can explain sea breeze and land breeze by natural convection. Sea breeze and land breeze can be explained based on natural convection. You see, the water, let us consider example of water body like lake, river or ocean. See, this water body, as you know, water is having a maximum specific heat. Water gets heated up very slowly and cools down also very slowly. Whereas the land surface surrounding the water heated up very fast. Land heats up very fast and cools down also very fast. So during daytime, the land surface and the water body are heated unequally because of the fact that the water has maximum surface tension. As a result, what happens? The air on the surface of the land becomes hot due to heating up of the land, quick heating up of the land. The air surface on the land becomes hot and it rises up. Due to buoyancy, it rises up. Whereas the layer of air on the surface of water is still cool. The layer of air on the surface of water is still cool because water heats up very slowly. As a result, during daytime, when the hot air from the land surface rises up, the cool air from the water blows towards the land surface to occupy that space. When the hot air rises, it leaves the space. To occupy the space, the cool breeze enters onto the land surface. That's why during daytime we feel cool breeze whenever we walk around on the sea beaches or on the banks of river or on the banks of seashore or on the banks of the ponds or lakes. We will feel cool breeze during daytime. But what happens in the night? The reversal takes place. So during daytime we get sea breeze due to unequal heating up of water and the land. Land heats up faster, water heats up slower. Okay. Now what happens in the night? It is reversal. Now by the time the entire day has gone, the water is being heated up. Now after the sunset, the water starts cooling down very slowly. Water cools off also very slowly because of very high specific heat. Whereas land cools up very fast. So the air layer on the land surface becomes cool very quickly. Whereas the layer of air on the water surface now in the night will be warm. This warm air rises up. This warm air from the water surface rises up and the cool air from the land surface moves towards the space created by the air on the surface of water. So cool air breezes the cool air blows towards the water surface and hot air from the water surface blows towards the land. So in the night time you will get warm breeze on the land surface. If you are in the ship on the water body, you will get cool breeze. So this is called land breeze. The cool breeze is blowing from land surface towards the sea surface. This is already you have learned even in the 7th standard. So sea breeze and land breeze are the convection cycles, natural convection cycles. Which take place due to unequal heating of land area and water body. Similarly, one more example is trade winds. You must have learned in geography. Trade winds is also an example of natural convection cycles. Okay, this is also because of unequal heating of the entire earth surface. Unequal heating of entire earth surface. You see, the equatorial plane is always receiving maximum heat compared to polar regions. The polar regions are always receiving minimum heat from the sun. The equatorial region always receive maximum heat from the sun. Because of this unequal heating up of the equatorial region and the polar regions, the trade winds are caused. Go through the formation of trade winds in detail. Okay, even the monsoon, whatever we receive, and the cyclones, whatever we get it is all because of the natural convection. It is all because of unequal heating up of water body and the land body. So that is all about natural convection. Now what about the forced convection? In the case of forced convection process is done with the help of a pump or by any other physical means. So it is called as forced convection. To give you example of forced convection, air cooling system in the automobile engines, the air cooling system in the automobile engines, and human body circulatory system, blood circulatory system in the human body. So for the blood circulation system in the human body to take place, the heart actually pumps the blood. So heart acts as a pump here. So heart pumps the blood so that the blood is circulated throughout the body, and then the entire body maintains uniform temperature as long as the circulation is continuously taking place. And one more example is the air heating system in the homes. Air heating system in the home is also third example of forced convection. So in the case of forced convection process, a pump or any other physical means is used to pump the air. So air cooling system in the automobile engines, it is also called as radiator, and another one is the human body circulatory system, and third one you can give air heating system in the home. Artificially air is being heated up using the heat pump, right? So the pump is used to circulate the air, right? So these are the examples of forced convection and the very important natural convection. Radiation is the the third mode of transfer of heat. We know that whenever we go and stand in the sunlight, we feel warm, we feel warm, our body becomes hot, right? We receive the heat from the sun. You see, sun is at 15 crore kilometers away from the earth's surface. Still then we receive the heat from the sun. So this heat radiation that we receive from the sun is traveling through the vacuum. There is no medium existing between earth and the sun. No medium is existing. So such a transfer of heat which does not require any material medium for its transfer, for its transit is called as radiation. So radiation is the third mode of transfer of heat which doesn't require any material medium, whereas conduction and convection, they require material medium. So the mode of transfer of heat which does not require any material medium. Is called radiation. When we sit near the fire, we receive heat. Although in between us and the fire there is air, we know that air is being a mixture of gases. It is a poor conductor of heat. Air is an insulator of heat. But still then we feel that warmth. We feel that warmth within no seconds, within no time. It means we are receiving the heat from the source of heat like fire by process called as radiation. We keep our palms, our body to the fire, close to the fire, so that in the winter season we feel warmth, hotness. It is by the process called as radiation. Then question arises, how is it possible for the heat to travel from the thermal energy to travel from the sun to earth's surface without any medium, no conduction, no convection? The process called as radiation. How is it possible? Here in this case, the energy that is radiated, energy that is transferred by the process of radiation, we call it as radiant energy. This radiant energy which is traveling from the hot source, from the body at a high temperature to other body at a long distance, is possible through a wave called as electromagnetic wave. It is called as electromagnetic wave or electromagnetic radiation. So we receive the heat from the sun by what is called as electromagnetic radiation, and this electromagnetic radiation doesn't require any medium. It can travel through vacuum. So any medium is not required, means the radiation transfers through vacuum. The thermal energy, you can note down here, the thermal energy radiated by a body at high temperature, body at high temperature, like you can say hot body, like sun. The example is sun, or even a filament bulb or fire. The thermal energy body at high temperature without requirement of any medium no medium means vacuum without requirement of any medium means no medium is present vacuum is called radiant energy this radiant energy is in the form of electromagnetic wave. It is in the form of electromagnetic wave, just like light. Light is an electromagnetic wave. So heat that we receive from the sun is also an electromagnetic wave. We call it as actually infrared radiation. We call it as heat causing radiation as infrared radiation. So infrared radiation is a type of electromagnetic wave. So the radiant energy is in the form of electromagnetic wave which travels with a very high speed. Travels with the speed of light. That is, speed of light is denoted by c. C equal to 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. This is the maximum speed. So we receive the heat within no time, right? From a hot body. It means any body which is at a high temperature gives out radiation. That radiation energy is called as radiant energy. So this type of transfer of thermal energy from a body at a high temperature is by means of the transfer of heat called as radiation. Okay. So it doesn't require any material medium. Then how is it possible? As I said, it is an electromagnetic wave. This electromagnetic wave has oscillating electric and magnetic fields. Electric and magnetic fields traveling through space. Traveling through space and time. They are traveling through space and time. Just like the signals that we receive. See, for example, another example of electromagnetic wave is the signal that we receive from the mobile. That is also a kind of electromagnetic wave. The signal that TV receives from the satellite, the TV signal, it is also a kind of electromagnetic wave. In the same way, the heat that we receive from the sun is also another type of electromagnetic wave. That is what we call as radiant energy. It is actually infrared radiation. Just remember, infrared radiation. So infrared radiation is the radiation of the energy released by the sun, solar energy released by the sun, out of which infrared radiation is one part. So the solar radiation is having totally three parts. One is visible radiation, that is what we see the surroundings, visible light. Second one is infrared radiation, which is heat causing radiation. The third one is ultraviolet radiation. Ultraviolet radiation. So light radiation, infrared radiation and ultraviolet radiations actually electromagnetic radiations. Okay. So these electromagnetic radiations, while they are traveling, they travel with the oscillating electric and magnetic fields through the space with the speed equal to 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. 3 lakhs kilometer per second. 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. They do not require any material medium. They can travel through vacuum. These can travel through vacuum with speed of light. That's what I have to see. 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. Okay. Now, when thermal radiation, that's what I have written, the radiant energy or the thermal radiation that we receive from a hot body like sun or any body which is at high temperature, we receive the thermal radiation. When the thermal radiation falls on any body, then basically two things take place. One is reflection from the surface, reflection of the radiation from the surface. Another one is absorption. Part of the radiation which falls on the object is reflected back and part of it is absorbed. Okay. Now, black surfaces and dark surfaces are better absorbers of radiation. Black surfaces, the surfaces which are totally black in color, dark in color, they are perfect absorbers of heat radiation. No light is reflected back. So that's why they are black in color. So black bodies are perfect absorbers of radiation. At the same time, after absorbing the radiation, they emit the radiation also perfectly. So black body is the one which is perfect absorber of radiation and perfect emitter of radiation. After receiving the radiation, the black body becomes hot. Once it becomes hot, it gives out radiation. That is what we call it as emitter of radiation. Whereas the surfaces which are painted white, you have seen in our science park. In our science park, there are three surfaces. One is three metal surfaces. One is totally painted black. Another one is totally painted white. One more is painted with yellow. If you go and touch the surface during the daytime, if you touch the black surface during daytime at about 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, the black surface will be very hot because it is a perfect absorber of radiation and perfect emitter of radiation. But when you touch the white painted metal surface, you will feel cool because no light is absorbed. So white painted surface, white colored surface and light colored surface are very good reflectors. Almost all the light that is falling is totally reflected. And if you touch the yellow painted metal surface, partly it is absorbed and partly it is reflected. It will not be so hot as that of the black painted metallic surface. So usually in the summer seasons, people prefer to wear light colored cotton clothes, because these light colored or white colored clothes are very good reflectors of heat. So the heat does not reach our body, it will be reflected back. So we feel cool. 5-day matches, you see, 5-day matches when they are played during daytime, 5-day test matches, cricket test matches, people are wearing, the players are wearing white clothes. Even if they are wearing white jackets or white sweaters, even if they are wearing sweaters, they are also white in color because whites are very good reflector of heat. Farmers, you see, farmers use white shirt, white banian and white dhoti and white topi also, white rumal also. You see the science behind it. So white is a good reflector of heat, right? Whereas in the winter season, people prefer to wear dark colored clothes, black or dark colored clothes in the winter season, because in the winter season the sunlight is very less and we will be feeling very cold. So whatever the light falls on us, the heat radiation from the light should be absorbed. So dark colored clothes absorb the heat radiation and keeps our body warm in the winter season, right? This is about the type of radiation that is absorbed depends on the color of the body. The radiation absorbed from a surface depends on its color. So before conclusion, whatever I have explained, I have written here. The radiation emitted by a body due to its temperature is known as thermal radiation. It is basically an electromagnetic radiation, and remember, it is infrared radiation. The electromagnetic radiation emitted by a body due to its high temperature is called thermal radiation. Even our body also emits radiation. Our body is having 37 degrees Celsius. So early morning we feel cool, very cold, because 37 degrees Celsius body will be finding the surrounding at very low temperature, at about maybe about 15 degrees Celsius or 16 degrees Celsius early in the morning, or sometimes in the cold winter season it may be reduced to 12 degree, 10 degrees Celsius. In the northern part of our country it will be below 10 degrees Celsius, 4 degrees Celsius, 5 degrees Celsius. So when the surrounding temperature is very cold, then due to temperature difference our body gives out radiation. That is what we call it as thermal radiation, which is in the form of infrared radiation, electromagnetic radiation. So electromagnetic radiation emitted by a body at high temperature or body due to its temperature is called thermal radiation. When a thermal radiation falls on any surface, two things take place. Part of it is reflected back and part of it is absorbed. Due to reflection only, we will be able to see the ground, we will be able to see the building, we will be able to see the nature because of reflection. And due to absorption, the surface which has received the radiation becomes hot due to absorption. Amount of heat that a body can absorb by radiation depends on its color. As I said, black body or black colored body is a very good absorber of heat. After absorbing the complete radiation, it will be able to emit the heat also. It is a very good absorber as well as very good emitter of heat. White is a good reflector of heat. White is a good reflector of heat. I have explained you why the farmers prefer to wear always white dhoti, white kurta, white shirt, white banyan and white topi as well as white rumal. The reason is white is a very good reflector of heat. They will be always in the field during daytime, right? So white is a very good reflector of heat. So these are all the examples. So in the next video we will be learning about the black body radiation. Black body radiation means the radiation emitted from a perfect black body which has got absorbed the radiation. The radiation from any hot body will be consisting of lot of radiant energy in different range of wavelengths. Okay, we will be learning about radiation emitted by a hot body in the next video. Wien's displacement law, Stefan Boltzmann law, we are going to learn it in the next video. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.